It's a world full of obstacles. A disaster befell us, and this disaster is unprecedented. Original. A few years ago, a demon's tower rose from the ground. A large army of demons emerged from it. Humans take these sudden unknowns, call it disaster, to exterminate these massive behemoths. Humanity's first large-scale animal network nuclear weapons. But for these disasters, huge nuclear weapons, but it's just a fireworks show. They were dancing while wantonly destroying the city. For these behemoths, humans seem so insignificant. All hope has been dashed. However, just then, there they are. These people are the 12 Holy See. They have the power of the gods. Chosen by God, 12 human beings were each endowed with some kind of ability by God. Above the disaster. And this one in front of you is an exception. He was the 13th saint not chosen by God. This person is the male protagonist, Li Jian. His power is unmatched by the 12 saints. In order to destroy the boss of the disaster, the Red Eye, a group of us gathered at the location of the monster. The male protagonist led 12 saints into the tower. Raider the Devil's Tower together. However, Li Jian did not know this battle is a deadly battle. This man is alone. Kill the strongest boss, the Eye of Color. However, this battle also exhausted his stamina. Wounds all over the body. And he lost an arm. But when he was at his weakest, attacked by teammates behind, a dagger went through his back. Li Jian couldn't believe it. The people who gave all their protection were ruthlessly obliterated by them. And fall into a trap that is absolutely impossible to escape. There are countless monsters here. He's already missing his left hand. I can't feel my right hand. Why don't you just wait to die? There's nothing left to miss. Just then, he struggled to grab the dagger that had fallen to the side. Bite it in your mouth. Pick up the long knife under your feet, he said angrily. What a joke. How could I have just given up? Until the last moment, I will never give up so easily. Before destroying those little quacks that attacked me, I will never fall here. Just wait for me. That's all. He swallowed the sadness of reading alone. His name is Li Jian. Beheaded the boss of the Devil's Tower alone. Red Eye. When he was at his weakest after the battle, but was framed by his own companions into a trap full of monsters. I thought it would end like this. But the hand reaches out to the long knife at the foot, said angrily that it ended like this. Is it really the result I want? I am not reconciled. Before destroying those little quacks that framed me, how could I possibly end up here? You all wait for me. That's all. He dragged his broken body, rush into the endless darkness, and outside at this time, these 12 saints who escaped from the Devil's Tower, being interviewed. How did the 13 of you who went in come out? 12 people. How is Li Jian from country H now? The saint interviewed, upon hearing Li Jian's name, shuddered slightly, thinking about how to hide from these people. After a minute of hesitation, finally he said loudly, Li Jian, he to save humanity. Choose to sacrifice your life. And I started crying on stage. Of course it's fake, beneath his sorrowful exterior. But I smiled inside. The night before we left, God works. Saint Oates finds Li Jian, said to Li Jian with a serious face, you won't make it out alive tomorrow. Devil's Tower? But Li Jian didn't care. That is you guy. Why do you always think of me as dying? Oh, I know. Is it because I ate 2 more chicken thighs? Oates was speechless by this sentence. My name is Oates, not called Otas. And that's not the point, okay? It certainly is. Li Jian interjected, I understand your intention, but I won't die tomorrow. I have killed countless disasters, more than the total number of your 12 saints killed. Do you think I would die so easily? In fact, Oates is also very complicated inside. I don't know how to end this with you, because he's not worried about evil. It's about hearts. This is a tower housing countless monsters. The monster inside, powerful enough to destroy all mankind. It all started on the last day of the 20th century. Devil's Tower rises from the ground. The world will not be at peace in the beginning. This sudden disaster has an overwhelming killing and plunge humanity into endless despair, living in fear and chaos every day. There's nothing we can do about it. Just then, 12 with a human appearance, a man who claims to be a god appears before humanity. They want to give humanity the power to resist this disaster. Select 12 awakened from among all humanity to inherit this powerful force. But what was unexpected was a person who has not received any gifts. The 13th awakened has appeared, and the power of the awakened, far more powerful than 12 saints. You ask who this person is. That was me, Lord Li Jian, because I'm here. Every time you conquer the Devil's Tower, it will go well. Of course, this also requires conditions. 5 years of free fried chicken rolls from Otas will do. Can't you get tired of eating? And how many times have I told you? My name is not Oda. My name is Oates. I'm so angry. A saint and a fat man next to him said, this time if we beat the Red Knight, should get a lot of pay. The fat man looks lewd, replied that it was the most terrible disaster. If we can get rid of him this time, at least 500 million. Start asking. That's when I interjected to say that this time the reward. Just use the 7-star hotel in the lower islands. 10 years of use rights to offset it. After all, because of this red eye, bringing countries to the brink of bankruptcy. I'm not finished yet. The fat man opened his mouth. Li Jia, you also have to get paid enough by the state to be able to trade. That's how to fix your handsome face and the body in the face of ridicule. I don't care at all. But he claims to be a saint. Greed never ends. A bunch of bastards who just fill their pockets. The more casualties, the happier they are. Wait until the red eye is wiped out. Just cut off from them completely. As you go deeper, the cliffs in the cave are also increasing in number with the hustle and bustle of breathing. At this moment, the saints saw a figure. I can't help but swallow. The heart has begun to panic because this is what they have seen. The largest and most powerful monster. The leader of the Devil's Tower, Red Shadow. Just stand here. You can feel the powerful oppression of this monster. Then the red eye sees the appearance of the saints. Angry, let out a whoop. The whole mountain began to shake violently. The ground begins to crumble. A flame burst out under everyone's feet. As the ground cracks, this fire is getting bigger and bigger. Straight into the sky, just for a moment. The saints are swallowed. It hasn't really started yet. 12 holy people. He was already trembling with fear from this momentum. A sea of fire under my feet. From a distance, the boss is still sitting there. The soul remains unchanged, looking at the crowd, eyes full of sarcasm. And these 12 saints now have only one villain in their head. That is to run. Are you kidding? How could this thing possibly beat? If you don't run, you have to die here. How can these guys be called saints? Whatever. Anyway, it can destroy the red eye. Only me. Sir Sword. Li Jian jumped. Run towards this monster. This is the most terrifying and selfless monster in the Devil's Tower. And he's awakened. In front of him, I can only tremble in despair. At this moment, there is only one word in their head. That is to run away. And just then, a man steps forward. He was in charge. Wang Fumo's momentum slashed towards the leopard's head. It was hard to eradicate the terrible disaster, but he didn't expect him to be betrayed by his companion behind him and was thrown into a trap of countless disasters. And this game of destiny is just getting started. Time flies. 20 years later, in a dark cave, a man full of scars stands in front of the last little monster. At this time, the little monster was already trembling with fright, because standing in front of him, it was Li Jian who fell to the bottom of this cliff 20 years ago. These 20 years, his hatred of the 12 saints never lessened. With tenacious perseverance, the belief in revenge is hard to hold. It keeps going up. This is a continuous stream of the special trap of replicating evil, countless hacks, in exchange for countless disasters, but he never gave up hope of getting out. You all wait for me. When I'm out, I will find you. Kill you scumbags to pieces. Back to now. This is the last little monster left, staring in front of me in complete disbelief. This man was terrified. Except for calling for help. Other method. But Li Jian told him a cruel truth. You are the last one. Then his 70-yard foot stepped on it. The last little monster was wiped out. It's finally over. Can you go out? Then the cave began to collapse. Li Jian's tired body always fainted. And outside the Devil's Tower at this time, 2 teenagers are running desperately. because they encountered a group of high-level disasters. One of the teenagers said with a sobbing voice, "That's it. I also found a fortune teller today. He said I would meet an unstoppable monster today." Really accurate. I will definitely give them a big mouth when I go back. But how can 2 feet run more than 4 legs? A calamity crocodile knocks 2 people down with 1 jump. The random duo is surrounded by monsters. The boy murmured, "If only I had greeted my lord, if not trapped in the devil's tower." Such a little guy. And the voice just fell. The devil's tower next to it shook violently. Even more confused among the 2 teenagers. All I heard was a huge explosion. Devil's Tower dies in place. The intense impact made it impossible for the 2 to open their eyes. What's up with such a loud explosion? After a long time, the smoke clears. They just got over it. This is one of the teenagers. Found that there seemed to be a human under the ruins, and the Devil's Tower that originally stood here. It disappears. His name is Lee Inyan.